Boys, you're going to want to buckle up for this one because I'm about to share with you the most advanced ad strategy that I have frankly ever shared on my YouTube channel. But this will absolutely print you money when you do it exactly right. Now, one of my coaches inside my one-on-one program, Bao, who is an absolute dog, by the way, the dude does over $500,000 a month with his store, is the one who shared this strategy with me because it has been crushing for him. And when I first heard it, it completely blew my mind and made me nuts simultaneously. Because it isn't super complicated by any means. In fact, it's actually really simple to implement. It's just the fact that it makes winning ads almost inevitable when you do each one of these steps. Now, when it comes to making winning ads, the most important variable isn't your visuals or fancy editing, it's nailing down your messaging to a specific avatar. But most dropshippers, including yourself, are just spending all this time, energy, and money on ads that have unproven hooks and headlines that you don't actually know if it's going to work. It is all a gamble at the end of the day. But what if you could have a system where for just $100, you could test all these hooks and headlines and actually validate them before you go through all that time and effort? So the chance of you having a winning ad for that product are dramatically higher. It's almost 100% when you execute this exactly the way I'm about to teach you. So in this video, I'm going to reveal the exact 3-step system that all of you e-com degens could literally just watch. I'm going to hand it on a silver platter to you. And if you implement it, you can make winning ads with the most powerful system for any new product you want to test or to make new winning ads for a product you're currently scaling. But before we get into that first step, because I know you're a little eager beaver, I want you to imagine that you're at a bar and suddenly comes walking in the most gorgeous woman you have ever seen in your life. An absolute angel. 5'9", blonde, blue eyes. Perfection. But you start to panic a little bit. Going through that Rolodex of different opening lines you can say to her, because if you don't say something to her, then you're gay. And you have no balls, and I refuse to work with you. And you have a line in your head like, "Excuse me, miss, I was going to wear the exact same dress tonight, but honestly, it looks so much better on you." But before you go up and say that to this gorgeous dime piece, you realize in your head, oh my God, I've never actually talked to a woman before. Therefore, the odds of this line working are very low because it's unoptimized. You've never tested this before. So you're going to go up and say something that you don't know if it's going to work to your potential future wife. So the odds are incredibly high. You're going to fumble the bag and you're going to watch her pretty face walk out the bar with an absolute Chad who coincidentally is wearing a $150,000 Ralph Lauren cowboy jacket because he knows what lines already work. He's already tested them. So the process that you need to go through before you see your next dime piece is what I like to call batting practice, where you have a lower stakes situation where you're going up to girls that might be a little bit chopped. So you don't care if you pull them, but you can say these lines without worrying about what happens, and you can see which ones have positive responses. So the next time you see a gorgeous dime, you would know exactly what to say because you've already tested it. And that's where most dropshippers get this wrong. Because you don't want to just go into it blindly, gambling your money, making all these ads you spend so much time into, and then they end up flopping regularly, routinely, because you didn't go through the due diligence of actually testing the messaging beforehand. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to. Now, if you're wondering who this girl is, she has 500,000 Instagram followers and an OnlyFans. I learned that the hard way when I went up and did approach her. One of the scariest moments of my life, but unfortunately, she is not going to be my wifey. Now, the old way of testing products, if you watch any of my videos, and this is already more advanced than 99% of dropshippers, if you're doing this, you were ahead of basically everyone, is you have a product like the Bleem Razor Hair Eraser. We already know this product. We've seen it a million times. And you know, okay, I have one avatar who I'm going to test different desires, pain points, and awareness levels when I market and make my ads to them. So we'll have 4 different angles: armpits, full body shaving, shaving your hoo-ha, and no more strawberry legs. And for each angle, we'll have one framework. So we have some image frameworks, some video frameworks, and we're going to split test 4 different hooks for each video and 4 different headlines for each image. That's a good start. That is 16 unique ads. But what if each one of these headlines and hooks, we could already got them pre-vetted and validated, and we know that they are going to stop that scroll and get people to click before we have to go through that effort of scripting all these ads and making them. That is where this next step comes in. Where instead of doing this old way, we're going to do the exact same approach, have 4 different angles to one avatar, but instead is once we choose our framework, we're going to test 12 different hooks and just test the hooks. Now you may be wondering, that sounds incredibly unorthodox. How do we actually go about just testing a hook? Don't we have to make the rest of the ad to actually know what happens? No. When you do it this way, where you know how to write 12 different hooks for whatever framework, because the hooks are all based on the framework you're doing, you can test them in the next step for only $2.50 for each hook. So $30, and know exactly which ones are the highest performers that you should be moving over. So it could be hook 4, hook 7, hook 10, and hook 12 that you end up actually moving and making into a fully fledged video or image ad. So in terms of writing hooks, here's my formula. First, you need to know who the avatar you're going to message to. And for that angle, so in this case, this is shaving armpits, what are the problems and what are the transformations for that specific desire and that specific angle? So in this case, we have a mom. It could be Sarah. She's got 2 kids. She already has a job. She's kind of rushing out of the house. Her main problem is she wants to have, obviously, beautiful, clean, baby shave butt level armpits, but she has to rush out of her house to do that, and it's kind of a hassle. Sometimes she has to skip. So she's looking for an efficient way to actually get those perfect armpits without the razor burn and without having to rush. So with all that in mind, there's 12 different hooks that we can try. We can try in 4 different styles: problem, outcome, question, and then a contradiction or bold statement. I love this last one, by the way. So you have 4 unique ways you can write hooks, and I write 3 hooks in each style. So for the problems, you can read them, benefits, you can read them. But when you do write out these 12 hooks, which will take you a little bit of time, you use Claude, you use all the resources. I have plenty of videos on copywriting. But when you write out these 12 hooks, all you have to do to test them is go to Canva, have a white background image one by one, and then you just paste the text. That's it. You can use Pop and Spawn. You can use Canvas Sans. Center it. This is all you need to do, people. And in the next step, I'll tell you exactly how you test it, set it up properly, and know which ones actually are the winners and which ones are the losers. But that's all you have to do. Just make white background images. Super simple. Now, if you're enjoying this video, by the way, make sure to leave a like, subscribe down below, because I drop 2 new videos every single week with the latest strategies that are working to help scale my brands to over $100,000 a month, and also my coaches as well, like Bao, who are absolute killers. But the next step, once you test all these hooks, in fact, we actually have to know how to test these hooks. We have to go onto Facebook. And on Facebook, what you're going to do is grab your 12 different images, and you are going to create an ABL campaign. $30 per ad set. Have 12 ads. So all 12 hooks are in one ad set for each angle. So you have a total of 4 ad sets, each with 12 hooks. Super simple. And you'll have an automatic rule which will turn off each one of the ads after they spend greater than $2.50. So that way you don't have to manage and maintain and be on top of your ad account every second of the day, which is, again, too much to ask for. That's ridiculous. Now, the metrics for determining a winning hook are any hook or headline that gets above a 6% CTR and below a $70 CPM. So to show you an example, and I know I'm Mr. Moneybags out here. I don't spend $2.50. I'm spending $3. God, it's so hard being so freaking wealthy. But I'll use right here with these hooks. We had 10%, 8%, 7%. So everything above that 6% line would qualify potentially as a winning hook, but then I have to see CPM. So 109, 38, we're good. 63, we're good. 56, we're good. So out of the 12 I tested here, there's 3 real big winners. And that's what I want. I want most of them to fail to really figure out what is the winning hooks and headlines that then I will put all the effort and time to making an ad around. This is how you do it the right way. It only costs you $30 to test 12 different hooks. And to show you how to set this up, because I know you might be wondering, okay, Ethan, how do I actually do this? Well, in Facebook, have one campaign. Razor, name of your product, hooks test is the name. You will do ad set budget, and then each ad set is the angle. So angle 1, armpit shaving. I do a purchase conversion event because it's nice to get a purchase here and there. That is what you're optimizing for, people that actually purchase, not people that click links. Daily budget, $30. Set it for midnight of the next day. Do your big 4, big 5 countries, however you like it. I don't do interest. I don't limit the placements. I do automatic everything. Just get out of Facebook's way. It's smarter than you. The AI has billions of data points. You're not going to outsmart it. Just give it all the ads. So make 12 ads inside of this ad set. And the only difference between them is just the image with text. They all have the same ad copy, all have the same headline. The only difference is the creative. And then you let that run for 1 day, and we'll have an automatic rule that turns off each one after it spends above $2.50 so that the other ones can get spent. And then you can validate which ones have that CTR and that CPM rule match. Now, to create this automatic rule, all you have to do is select your campaign, go to more, create a new rule. Next. Name it whatever you want. You can do Ethan's Big Keener rule. Select your campaign, and we're going to do active ads in this campaign. We're going to turn off an ad once it has spent too much moolah, which in this case is $250. Super easy. Click create. You're good to go. That's all you need to do to go through step 1 and now step number 2, which is setting up everything, testing it. Now again, if you're enjoying this video, watch this one next, because this is my full media buying video, because when you actually test these hooks and find out what works, then you're going to actually have to turn them into ads and then know, how do I actually go about media buying? How much do I go about spending on each creative? Now, I'll give you some general rules. So in this instance, we have this video ad here, and here's the hook. 3 signs your strawberry skin and razor bumps are actually folliculitis. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And then for this one, I cancel my wax appointment for this. So you test it, and now you know these are the winners, and now we'll actually make our ads. And when it comes to this step, this is a separate campaign. So I have one campaign for testing hooks and one campaign for actually testing the fully made creatives. So for the creatives, same kind of process. I do ABO, $20 per ad set, drop the 4 to 5 ads for each angle inside that have the proven hooks and headlines. And with these, I spend at least $5 per creative. Then, after they spent $5, I have other rules like, okay, if the product, let's say I'm selling for $35 and it cost me $5, once it spends $7, if it doesn't have an add to cart, I'm killing. If it spends $12 without a checkout, I'm killing. If it spends $20 without a purchase, I'm killing. So again, if you want access to the KPI calculator, which just simplifies to the dollar amount, how much you should spend on each creative, first link in the description, not first link, but join the Discord. It's completely free. It has this completely for free. So you can join, get access to that if you want access, which is very valuable. I use that before every test. When I'm on a one-on-one call with a student, that is the first thing I'm looking at when I look at ad data. What are your KPIs? You need to know, otherwise you are shooting blindly and you have no clue, and you're basing it off of gut decisions what you're doing with your media buying, which is the complete wrong approach. So once you test all these ads and you have a winner that's 3+ purchases, which means any ad with 3+ purchases below your break-even CPA, so in this case it would be any ad below a CPA of $28, then you'll move on to the 4th and final step. This is the bonus step. This is how you get to 5 to 10 grand days. This is the thing that most people forget about. But before we get into that, if you do want to work with me one-on-one and get access to all of my ad templates, these are image ad templates, these are video ad templates, the exact structures and the product pages I use to scale to over $100,000 a month, then click the first link in the description down below and apply to join my one-on-one program. There's currently about 5 spots available. We already have people that are booking calls. So again, these spots are going to go quick. I'm not giving you fake urgency. This is just the reality. I only have so many coaches, and not a mass market program. But I am the only program that gives you 5 group coaching calls a week with me, where I'm going to review your products, your website, your ads, everything. And I guarantee you will hit 1 grand a day in my program, or I will keep coaching you for free until you do. We are the only program that offers that guarantee, because I genuinely want you to be successful, because when students become successful, I end up partnering with them. We end up making a lot of money together, and we're actually incentivized for you to win, unlike other programs. But getting back into things, the final step of this process, baby boy, iterations. When you have a winning ad, you have to make more winning ads through iterations. So let's say this is your winning ad right here, is the 3 signs video ad. Well, then the next thing you can do is make more versions of it through new hooks. So that means a new visual plus a new way of saying that line. You want to have the same message in a sense, but in a slightly different way. So in this case, we have warning. You can have folliculitis. Here's 3 signs to look out for. Or 3 signs you can have folliculitis and how you can fix them. And each one has a slightly different visual, slightly different text, so that you can keep pumping out new versions, new variations of winners, because that is now the proven message, the proven angle, and the proven hook that is working for you. And that is how you scale. And if you're wondering, how do I test these new ads? Again, I have a whole media buying video. Watch that after this one. It is going to break down everything for you as succinctly as possible. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe down below. And I hope you enjoyed it. And again, if you want some help, one-on-one work with me, click that first link in the description.